Big Ed here, and today we are going to do a video on case trimming, and specifically we're going to be trimming 308 cases today, so we can continue in the process of turning once fired brass, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times fired brass, into a completed entire round right there. Check out my other video on loading 308, but we're just going to worry about case trimming today. So we have my Lyman case trimmer right here, and this is screwed down to my wooden bench right here. First, we'll just go over the simple functions of what a case trimmer is going to do. A case trimmer is going to cut down the neck of your brass, because as you shoot brass, and especially bottleneck brass like this is, the neck's going to grow on it in the chamber of the rifle, and eventually it will get too long and it won't chamber again once. So then you're going to have to invest in a case trimmer and start trimming the cases. So we know that. And let's go over some of the things we're going to need first before we get into the case trimmer. First thing we're going to need is the case trimmer itself. The second thing is we're going to need a good pair of dial calipers. This is a must-have, or else you are wasting your time. The second thing we're going to need too is our good old reloading book right there, and we're going to put it right here on our 308 so you can get a good image of that. And basically, if you notice, we're looking at this number right here, the 2.015 of an inch. That is the overall maximum length of a 308 cartridge case right there. So we're going to go a little below that to allow these things to grow. We're going to go anywhere from 2.005 to 2.01, so they have a little room for growth. But can't stress, have a reloading book, have two so you can cross-reference, but 308 is a very simple cartridge to reload. So the first thing we'll do is we're going to extend out our arm all the way, and on this arm right here is a cutting head right there. They're your sharp blades right there. Also, trimming brass is a very soft metal, so steel can trim it very easily. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull that all the way back. Here's our brass case right here. Lyman wants you to trim them after they've been resized and deprimed. So they say their little ball detent in there works better in holding the case, but I have found this machine works just as well trimming, before it's resized. I found that this case trimmer works as well, firing the brass once it's been fired, before you've tumbled it and before you've resized and deprimed it. So we'll go ahead and we're going to stick a case right in here, and you can kind of hear it click in there. And this little lever right here, this unit's really nice. Push that over, and that kind of cantilevers it. It's kind of like a chuck on a drill bit, and just gets it tight in there. So that's not going to come out right now. And that holds it steady so it can't spin. So then you can bring the cutting head down on it and trim it down. So the next step we're going to do right here is we have all these little pilots right here. And the pilots, we're going to go ahead and grab the 30 caliber one. Don't know if you can see that, but take my word for it, it is 30 caliber. We're going to go ahead and stick it in our tooth. And what this will do is this makes sure that the cutting head is straight in there. It's flush. So we're trimming the brass down, and that's not going to be, on some odd angle, and it won't be off center. It'll be nice and clean and true. So the whole thing about reloading is consistently. Then we're going to take our little Allen wrench right here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten up our pilot. Make them tight. We're going to pull that all the way back. Well, actually, let's take a look at what our starting measurement is. All right, you can see that right there on the caliper. So that's 2.026 of an inch, so we're long right there, and that's too long for a 308 case. So let's go ahead and trim this one down right here. But first we got to finish setting up the machine. So we'll go ahead, we'll stick it in there. We're going to move our arm down here, and we're going to engage it. Make sure it's tight. So right now we just tightened it up there, so our brass is in there. We're going to go ahead, we're going to slide our collar down here. Make sure this is unscrewed and it's expanded all the way, because what we're going to do is then we're going to lower it the cutting head onto the case. And we'll go ahead and we're going to tighten up the outside one. And these are just little set screws, little Allen wrenches, and they, you know, the Allen wrench comes in the kit. So there we go. Let's give it a couple spins right here, see what we look like. And we're not cutting anything. So we'll go ahead, let's back it out. I'm going to go ahead and tighten it a little bit. A couple of turns. I can see I'm cutting right away. I'm removing a little bit of material. I don't push too hard, but I'll push a little bit. Let's back that out now. And you can see that. You can see how shiny that brass is right there. You can see that's a fresh cut, you know, and that's been, that surface has been redone. So let's go ahead and see what our measurement is. Oh, we're right at basically, yeah, we're right at 2.015. So we're getting close right there. So let's go ahead and we'll reinsert it. Put it in there, tighten up. We're going to go ahead and back it down just a little bit more. I can see it cutting a little more material off. You can feel it stop cutting. And again, the most important part about this, just like any other kind of stepper reloading, is making sure your setup is good. So as you can see, this is good. We're going to leave that right there. I'm not sure how much this brass will grow with my final load, because as you can see, this is my load workup table right there, and I've decided to go with the 43.5 grains of 4064 in here with my 308s, and but we were running a lot of ladder tests with this brass, so it all grew on different rates right there. So what we'll do is this one will be finished. We're going to go ahead and set the second collar so we don't lose our measurement. Keep our little Allen wrench. Take another piece of brass, stick it in there, insert the pilot, clamp it down. Trim it up. Ooh, drop it around. Drop the good ammo. Let's take a look at this one. Alright, this one's big. Let's take a look. Let's do a little more trimming on this one. Yeah, more's coming off. I just wasn't cutting enough. I could feel it loosen up right there. Let's get these out of here. My room, good ammunition. But this one will be good. Yeah, there we go. So there we are. So that one's good. So what I would do is I would go ahead and I'd probably check the first 3 to 5 of these, and then I go ahead and I just start trimming them. Some guys will check every single one. You know, it all depends on consistency and how good you want your ammo to be. You know, and you know what you're using it for. You know, if you're using it for extreme long ranges, you know, need real accurate ammo or a match or something, you might want to check every one. But again, it's all about a good machine setup right there. There we go. So we're good. So I got 3 that are really consistent, that are right on, you know, within a thousandth of an inch. So go ahead, put another one, engage it. Start trimming it. The other thing that's very important when you trim brass, let's measure this last one. Yeah, that one's right on. Is that you have a little deburring thing, because you're going to basically create, you can see the little burrs on here, I can feel them. There's going to be burrs on the inside and on the outside. I can feel my skin on my finger catching on that burr right there. So the first thing I do, and this has got to do this with each case, is just run your little deburring thing. You don't need much. You can feel that's already beautiful. And then on the inside too. That's it. That would be your finished brass right there, ready to reload. That is trimmed, and ready to go to the next step. You know, I'd prime that, tumble it, prime it, fill powder, and put a bullet, ready to go bang again. So that's basically our setup right there. And again, I can't stress enough to spend your time to set this up right, measure it, take your time. So that's all what it's about. It's all about the setup. It's about the prep. And then go ahead and be consistent and just bang out your stuff. The other thing, make sure you got a good dial, you know, good calipers. Doesn't have to be a dial one. I like mine. I got a good deal on them. And then a reloading book, you know. And then also look on the internet too. 308's a very popular round to reload. But this will go with all bottleneck cartridges, you know, as far as trimming them, you know, any straight walled cartridges. But you're going to see the bottlenecks are the big one. But, you know, whether you're loading 300 Win Mag, 338 Lapua, 50 BMG. Actually, I don't even think this will fit a 50. You got to get a bigger one. But, you know, 338 will fit in there. You know, 223 Remington will fit in there. Whatever we want to do will fit in there. So, but, you know, check out my other reloading videos. I'm going to put this one in a folder with the other one. And if you like it, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you for watching, folks. And feel free to give me a thumbs up.